Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Fix Talks. I'm in the studio today with Kevin Roth. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We are going to be talking today about 3 areas where technicians need the most help. So we're going to be talking about how to be a technician. We're going to be talking about nobody's favorites, learning the basics. And we're also going to be talking about advanced level training. So I'm going to start off with Kevin here, and I'm going to ask him a few questions. Going back to what we were talking about before, is that, and again, testing technicians, interviewing technicians, you and I both know the areas where they struggle, basics and being a tech, and in this area there's a lot of advanced systems that they're working on.
Mm-hmm.
Testing technicians, I know that a lot of them don't understand how CAN networks work, how to diagnose them, what source voltage is, how they talk to each other, gateways, all those things, simple waveform analysis, how to get those waveforms. I mean, once you boil them down, they're simple things, but they just don't know that, right? And we talk a lot in Tech Fix about, repairs, that things on the vehicle that I can see, feel, touch, and fix, right? That's going to be brakes, steering, suspension, and anything in your drivetrain, right? A lot of technicians really understand that because it's right there in front of you.
Hands-on.
Everything else on a vehicle is conceptual. You can't see it. And I always say, you can feel electricity if you did something wrong. But you can't see electricity. You can't see Freon. You can't see what's inside of, a module or, whatever. But we found at TechFix, we call everything in that category performance diagnostics, because I don't care if it is CAN networking. I don't care if it's drivetrain control, evaporative emissions control. They all have at least 3 things in common. And that's going to be source voltage, that's going to be feedback circuit, and that's going to be a control circuit. And what we found is technicians who usually live outside the conceptual realm in, the things I can see and fix, touch, once we teach that in that way, they start to see it more as a mechanical thing, things that they can envision. And I think that's also something, because we have this, lack of training is why we have a gap in this area. ADAS, technicians pulling bumpers off cars, not realizing what they just did. They just plug the sensors back in. There's no calibration. There's lack of training, but there's also a really, there's a big lack of how to teach these things. I've sat through other trainings, some of them 8 hours, where technicians are just on their phones. They're like, I'm out. I checked out 45 minutes in, So I think we really need to concentrate on that as well, because those are the areas where technicians are making mistakes. And I don't know how often this happens in your shop, and you don't have to admit it, but I know you guys as shop owners are out there writing $3,000 checks to cover modules that were diagnosed improperly.
Yep, absolutely. So you could call this some ego, right? I just call this faith in my team, but put it however you want it. But one of the sales tools we use in the front of house is hey, if we can't fix it, I won't charge you, because I'm determined to get to the bottom of it, right? Now, we have sent cars out that are just everybody, you've all got that car that everybody had their hands in it, everything's tore apart, and we're just we're willing to take this on, but this is going to be an expensive one because I'm chasing everybody else's bad repairs. And then I still have to...
That's a different case.
That's completely different. But if we have, Andy Fisher says it the best, a man built it, a man can fix it, right? So if that's the case, and we have all the tools, now, if you don't have the tools or you don't have the training on it, I don't recommend you go experiment on a customer's car. But for the most part, if you have everything in line, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to fix it.
Nicely said, man.
And it kills me because but there's a lot of people in the industry too. I'll have a technician run right up to the 3-hour mark, and they're almost there, and they get so stuck on the time that they won't spend 5 extra minutes. And if they would have found it, and then they request more time. So for me personally, and this is what I saw that was backwards. When I first learned about TCOD, I watched my technicians try to diagnose something they didn't understand, and then went backwards. Then they tried to figure out what the operation, how it operated, Then they're like, oh, well, I don't understand the components. And then they have to go into theory, and theory's boring. So I've just always been on, and for most people, not some techs suck up theory, they love it, right? But for most techs, that's where you see the phones come out and they're scrolling. So that's why we did the 1 hour lunch and learn. For 1 hour, I can capture your attention. For 1 hour, I can get you in vision. And it doesn't help, or it doesn't hurt that you're buying them food as well, right? Because like then you got your hands full of food and you're watching, and then we're all discussing afterwards. Like, do you guys understand that? But for the most part, one of the biggest helps has been is if you get a lull, like technicians waiting on a part and they don't have anything else they could start, like, you have an engine job, but no tech is starting an engine job at 4:45 on a Friday, obviously. We got a little bit of time. Go grab a known good. Grab one of our loaner cars. Go grab your own car. Hook the scope up and look at some waveform analysis. Go play with something that you know is good. Go hook up the scan tool. Take the scan tool home for the weekend. Drive around and watch the data PIDs. Like, watch what happens when you go wide open throttle. Do a VE test and play with it. Yeah. So this way, they're experiencing known good. And then when even if you don't understand every single PID, when you see one out of place from everything you've been looking at, just because you're more in depth with it and you've been doing more with it, it starts to come more naturally. Like, I don't know why, but that's not right. Right. And then you could move towards understanding the system.
Absolutely, man. And I think that's a great point. If you understand the basics, the fundamentals of how these more advanced systems work, you can't just go out there and think that you're going to fix a car. You have to study. And doctors do this as well. Like, I need to know what it looks like when it's healthy. I need to know what blood work looks like when it's good. You need to know what a waveform analysis looks like on an injector or whatever it is that you're working on. So I think that's a great point. And I really like, what you said in quoting Andy Fisher, and I think it's probably a good place to land here, is that if a man broke it, if a man built it, a man can fix it, right? And I think that, it might sound like we're beating up everybody right now because we know there's a huge lack of knowledge here, but the good news is that there's hope. Yeah. Right. And I think if people understand what they're missing and they make it a goal, technicians make it a goal to fill those gaps, then they're going to have such a better career, make more money, help more customers, just be happier overall and have more growth. I mean, I don't know, maybe you want to be a technician trainer, or maybe you want to be a foreman or a shop owner or a manager or whatever. I don't know. But it doesn't hurt to have these tools and have this knowledge.
100%. Yeah. I'm constantly looking at it. I'm trying to decide, and depict, like, which one of my technicians is going to be the next diagnostician for the shop, right? And I have them all working towards that. But there are some that, and I'm not picking on anybody, there are some who just don't want that, and again, a good B-Tech can make a ton of money in this field. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, just trying to feel that out and figure out where they want to go is where I'm always at.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Well, hey, man, it's been really good talking to you today.
Likewise.
It was fun. If you guys are interested, check out the videos that Kevin and I did. Our reaction videos. It was really fun to do that with you, man. And I can't wait to have you back. I got more things I want to talk to you about, okay?
Awesome.
So thanks. All right, guys. You fix the cars, you fix the shop. Thank you.